Hi, my name is Dennis Afewu. This is my pitch, Country Lines, a short film. In my concept, I aim to talk about gang violence and youth society in London, as opposed to the behaviour of teenagers, I guess. In the story, a girl is in love, I guess, with a boy, and he ends up dying because of postcode wars. And because of this, she decides that she wants to kind of deter her friends away from like going down the same path as her boyfriend. So in doing this, yeah, she does end up reforming one of her friends and keeping him away from gang violence, drug use, and drug dealing. As it's an urban-based drama, I'll have to have a city backdrop, usually dealing with issues such as crime, drugs, and poverty. However, this genre this genre is based around races and culture, and this means that I'm gonna need to involve quite sensitive subjects and maybe harsh language, but I'll try to avoid it if necessary. Um, I want the duration of my film to be at least 50 minutes because it gives me a chance to build a connection between the audience and the characters. Some examples that I have on the right are Brotherhood, which came out in 2018, and it's similar to my idea in terms of the urban drama, I guess. And the second one is Drawn Out below. The hooks and themes that I've chosen are sadness, happiness, fear, revenge, love, knife crime, London, ethnicity, storytelling. I want it to be relatable and everyday, families, and teen pregnancies. In my target audience profile, I looked at similarities in audiences. So, for example, Vice, E4, ITV, Channel 4, Google Play, and Amazon Prime all share the same. Oh, sorry, and Netflix all share the same like relation in terms of what I'm doing. I want to have quite a short film, so I wouldn't want to promote it on somewhere such as Channel 4 or ITV or E4 because they tend to have series, and as it's only two episodes or one episode for me, I feel like it won't benefit being on one of these channels because people tend to get quite attached to shows such as the one I'm doing. So I feel like Netflix or Vice would be a good um, platform to stream my film. Social media outputs I've chosen are Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. However, I feel like the best possible option is to promote it on Facebook and Twitter because although there's quite large fan bases on Snapchat and Instagram, I feel like it'll be easier to get my work out on Facebook and Twitter as I can promote it as a banner. My target audience demographics are usually between 16 to 14. It should be Generation Z and the class BE. Their interests are usually drill music or, I guess, secular music, and they tend to like to go to the cinema a lot. I feel like it will relate to people that have had experience with youth societies and gang teams and pregnancies and education because they'll understand and be able to relate to the characters a lot more. As my target audience are mainstreamers and aspirers, I feel like relating some of the information to celebrities will help to like promote my work. So if possible, I'll try and get in touch. My demographics relate to education, marital status, location, age and gender, race, and employment status. I don't believe that the people, my target audience, will be full time workers. I feel like they will be part time because they are quite young, and probably apprentices or trainees. The education level would most likely be secondary school or university. The marital status could be possibly, I guess, single or a relationship. The locations are based mainly around London, as it is a London-based drama. So I would say North London, Finsbury Park, Angel, Hampstead, Islington, Waltham Forest, Hackney, East End, Barking, Kensington, Hammersmith, and Fulham, and for South, Bexley and Kingston. So mainly the suburbs, not really central. Um, as I want to like relate my work to everyone, it's not only for males, it's related to females. The age range does span a bit. So I want to only work with 16 to 24, I guess, but I want to raise awareness for parents as well, because parents don't seem to realize how much of a danger knife crime can be. The races mainly relate to Asian, Black, Somalian, and white people, because I feel like those are mainly the people that are involved in gangs in London, which is pretty much everyone. My psychographics relate to personality, lifestyle, interests, and attitudes. So, for personality, I included laid back, introvert, extrovert, reserved, role models, self centered, emotional, and argumentative. I've chosen these because I believe that there is a mix in the behavior in my target audience. So, I feel like relating the opposites and involving them will make it very clear for you to understand. I feel like in terms of the lifestyle, as they are aspirers and mainstreamers, they will be quite materialistic and seek safety. And because they are youths, I feel like this is relevant to them. The attitudes are conflicted, kindness, sensible, mature, negativity, immaturity, positivity, and depression. I've chosen these because I feel like at this stage, so from 16 to 20, I guess, there's a lot of stress in terms of exams and maturity and like growing up in general. So I feel like these are all definitely needed to be included. The interests are leisure, money, friendship, clothing, music, relationships, and drugs, as people tend to be more experimentative in their teenagehood. Our primary research consists of the activities of gang culture and knife crime. So I done some research on Google, which I used to gather results and information on my target audience. So I sent this to only people that were in my age range. 72 respondents completed the survey said their age range was 16 to 20, which is very similar to the generation I chose. The main characters in the film are around 17 years old, so they do still go to school, and this should relate to my target audience. Therefore, I can appeal to teenagers around that age because they may be going through the same similar issues, and this could help them figure out the route that they want to take. So on the right, I have some images of some statistics that I gathered from my primary research. So the first one is what age range are you in? And as you can see, 16.7% said that they were aged 21 to 25, and the two below were from, which were quite even, was 26 to 30 and 30 to 15. Okay. My target market is our youth media companies who publish short films in genres of tragedy and drama, which are two huge streams that circulate around the streets of London. MYM Million Youth Media is a well-known platform for publishing short films on YouTube. They have roughly around 2K followers, and their videos reach at least 5.6 million and are still growing. They have a variety of short films, and they relate their issues to black communities, white communities, and so forth. I think they do this to try and like build a connection in diversity to like stop racism, because I know that growing up there is a lot of racism in London, so and it's gone down, but there's still a lot going on. Another platform I found was Short of the Week, which is also well known to filmmakers, which allows people to publish their work and build a career in filmmaking without having to go through, I guess, years of training. There are requirements though; it isn't free. The services are £30, I guess. Yeah, £30, and it does kind of limit you to how long you can have the film, but the most I believe is 40 minutes. It's also a non-refundable service, which means that if I wanted to promote my work on this page, I'd need to make sure that my film was already done. On the right, I have some examples of the Million Youth Media logo and some of their work below. In my secondary research, I looked at similar projects, art exhibitions, London magazines, and movie advertisements. I also looked at guides for professional advice and online forums. So in the top corner right here, we have three examples of similar products: Shira Story, Armani, and Topway. These are urban dramas which are very similar to the idea that I wanted to go for, and I feel like mo- I think these were mainly my inspiration. Um, for exhibitions, I looked at London short film festivals, Sundance film festivals, and Tribeca film festivals. I feel like if I could go, I would have went to these film festivals and seen what was available and see what I could do because it could have given me some ideas and inspirations. For the London magazines, I looked at grime-based companies who focus on this that have filmed in some of the similar products. I feel like this is effective because it will allow me to gather like information on, I guess, what's trending and situations that are rising in um, youth societies. For movie advertisements, I looked at Brotherhood and Adulthood because these movies are 9 years apart, but they've kept the same design on the style. For my online forums, I use Google Trend to gather information on my target audience and patterns that could be relevant to my coursework. So, for example, um, in 2018, there were there was a rise in knife crime, and I feel like this was because more young people are listening to drill music, and it's become less sensitized. For professional advice, I looked at camera movements and tutorials on YouTube because I felt like these were very effective ways for me to learn fast without having to go through detailed analysis and how to use cameras. For my rec report, I picked four locations: the park, which is quite close to my house in Enfield, Andover Estate, which is in which is in Manor House, Woodbury Down, which is the same location to Andover Estate, but just away. It's a shop that we would film at, and then this was in London N9 Edmonton Green, which is a house which we were planning to film in for my scene. My budget consists of prop money, prop bank cards, prop knives, prop blood, prop pregnancy tests, and prop guns. And eye solutions. Although I believe that these props could change throughout the build up to my filming days because I feel like the prop gun, prop knife, and pregnancy test should be taken out. My modes of address is quite short, but I did focus on subjects filmed in natural locations such as streets, houses, and parks. The visual aesthetics such as cutaways, close-ups, establishing shots, pan-ins, pan-out shots, and seamless transitions. I aim for it to be educationally. I aim for it to be educational and raise awareness in youth societies for young people, and I want to build a communication between the contributors, which will also be done off screen in order to make the film appear more lifelike and to make them feel more comfortable. Um, the music that appeals to my target audience will be used throughout the video with permission from copyright companies. My character profile has Kiana. She's age 17. Her gender is female. Her ethnicity is Black African Caribbean. Her behavior is socially enthusiastic. Her main traits is beautiful and smart. Her eye color is dark brown. Her hair color is curly, and her build is athletically curvy. Devon is age 17, male, Black African, aggressive but sociable. He's funny and provocative. His eye color is dark brown. His hair color is black, and his build is lean. Emmanuel is very similar to Devon. He's 17, male, Black African. However, he's comedic and wise. His eye color is dark brown, his hair color is black, and his build is lean. Toby is 17. He's male. He's a Black African slash Caribbean. He's very aggressive. He's cocky. He's poor mannered and in the gang. He has dark brown hair, and his hair color is black, and his build is lean. So, with all of these four characters, I feel like it's very clear who does what and how they behave. So Toby is aggressive. Devon is slightly aggressive too. So we can see that's going to be a problem between them two. And for Emmanuel, it's clear that it says comedic but wise. So I feel like he's going to stay out of the situations that Toby and Devon are more likely to get into. And because Kiana is social and enthusiastic, I feel like she'll try to like sort the situation out, but it won't go right. My contributors are Clive's brother, Chanel, Kiana, Janelle Wallace, Toby, and Joshua. In my quantitative data, I have included knife crime in the UK, violence, drill music, and teen pregnancies. I've used Google Trends again to gather some statistical data on the patterns and trends that are in relation to knife crime. And it seems that there was a rise in February, between February and May, and between September and January. And I feel like this was because for knife crime in the UK, there were spikes between February 4th and May 27th. There was also spikes between September 16th and January 6th, 2019. For violence, there were spikes multiple times between May and September. For teen pregnancies, the data here fluctuated quite drastically, and I feel like this is because more teenagers are exposing themselves to sexual intercourse in general. So more people are getting pregnant, and we'll have to look up how to sort that out. For my qualitative data, I gathered reviews related to similar movies. So, for example, Rotten Tomatoes reviews done a review on Brotherhood, and the professional critiques rated it 63 out of 100, and the audience rated it 53 out of 100. I feel like the audience are a lot more stern with their critiquing because the critics themselves have said that it was 63. An example is the audience members said they believe that the film is very interesting but lacks realism, as most of the people acting in the movie were quite wealthy rappers and music artists. Yeah. People also weren't happy with the fact that there was female nudity, and because of that, it wouldn't really be too good to use for showing to other people. Although it did get a decent rating, it wasn't the best. It did make 2.6 million from when it was first released, and since then I'm not really sure how high it's gone, but I believe that it's still increased because people are still watching it. My mood board consists of multiple images from adulthood, kidulthood, brotherhood, and gang relations. So I've put a lot of images of school children, boys in gangs, the stereotype of people in gangs, and weapons used. My similar products are Armani, a short film from 2019 based on a true story, which is 20 minutes. The second one is Deep It, which was an award-winning film, and it was 14 minutes. Drawn Out, which was another short film in 2018, was 34 minutes. So I feel like the duration of the films can fluctuate, but it really depends on how much content you want to include. I've chosen these products because they effectively grasp my attention from the beginning, and this is the exact effect I want to be aiming to create when I film my short film. I also need to create a couple of questionnaires so I can find out what my clients are interested in. However, this time I aim at using the physical questionnaires on paper, as it will be faster but more time consuming. I also have focus groups towards the end of my production to see what could be changed and gather a positive and negative criticism. Here are the images for each of the short films I chose, and here are the footnotes. I like Armani because the color grading in every shot has a very light tint, which helps show the difference between the flashbacks and reality. It's also mostly a voiceover that lasts minutes before a boy dies, which helps to create an emotional connection between the audience and the characters. I like Deep It because the storyline is effective and it represents today's society and how youth tackle problems they run into on a daily basis. It also looks at real-world issues such as bullying, suicide, and depression. Drawn Out is an interesting film because it talks about the trafficking of drugs and how women are represented in today's youth society. The use of cold color grading is effective because it makes the video seem more realistic. Simon Oakes is an experienced director of video production with demonstrated history of working in the media. His skills are in photography, film editing, production, project management, social media, and cinematography. And he's also a director and cinematographer of the three similar products above. My equipment list consists of one DSLR camera, which is a Canon 750D, a viewfinder, an audio recorder, tripod, lavalier microphones, Rode condenser shotgun microphones, shoulder rigs, micro LED light, a Canon 50mm 1.8 lens, a Canon 18 to 55mm lens, and three SD cards. Things I've included in my work below. For my budget, I included everything that we would use and everything that we actually had, just to see how high the price came up to. For the equipment, it came up to 1,509. For the accessories, it came up to 317. For the production crew, it came up to 1,830. For the theatrical props, it came up to £65. And for the pay rates per day and for the sound technicians and people that are helping on site, it came up to 1,485. These aren't the real, I guess, information that I would have had. It's just a basic summary of what would be the price if I actually included it. For my schedule, I included everything I would need to do from beginning to end so that I would have a clear understanding and workflow of what I would need to do each day. I also set myself deadlines prior to the actual FMP deadlines, just to make sure that I was ahead of time, although this didn't go to plan because I was